Imagine having a glass full of water. It's pure, clean, and innocent. Then you start filling it up with dust. And obviously the state of water will severely be impacted by these dark cloud of dust. Now, our mind works in a similar way as the glass of water does. If you fill it up with positivity, it will stay positive and clean. But if you fill it up with negativity, it will become negative and toxic. Now, you may all agree that news channels are not the place where you find the happiest stories around the world that will fill your glass, your mind, with positivity. It is often filled with information about war, crime, politics, and old people yelling at each other, mostly things around the world that are just beyond our spectrum of control. I think we all experienced a feeling of powerlessness and anxiety watching or reading the news some point in our lives. And I think this is primarily because news often feed us with problems but not solutions. And what's more interesting is that a lot of us feel mandated to keep ourselves attached to these news channels under the excuse of informing ourselves. But guess what? News channels are no longer a place for information, but became a place for confirmation, a place to confirm the information and values that you already have due to the overexposure of news simply everywhere. It has become so widely available everywhere on social media, phone widgets, apps, emails, and just constant notifications of noise. So it's a place for confirming your values, or values that the media wants you to believe in. And also, we are constantly fed with news all around the world that are sometimes distant and unnecessary. I don't mean to be ignorant, but there are a lot of materials that are just made of constant cycle of microdrama and worthless brain clutter that just wants your attention and will have zero impact in your daily lives. And that's simply the nature of how news channels work. They make money out of your interest and your clicks. It attracts you by posting red headlines, breaking news that says current events. And that is exactly why I have stopped consuming or watching the news anymore. Or at least not in a passive way that I used to, because watching the news have made me become more pessimistic or view the world in a more of a cynical attitude, when in reality, there's just so much things that I can be grateful for. So instead, I chose to focus these energy on things that actually matter to me. My well-being, my health, and my community, and things that I genuinely care about that I can control. And here are 2 active changes that I can recommend if you're looking for a healthier or a better consumption of news overall. Number 1, find an alternative. Instead of watching or reading the news, replace the time with feeding yourself with positivity through some form of active consumption. TheHappyBroadcast.com is one that I use a lot, where it shares news about happiness and positivity around the world. Think about how much change it would be if you replaced negative, toxic, worrisome news with positive ones. And you'll be surprised how good our world is if you choose to look for it. Number 2, mindful consumption. It is likely that you are fed up with negative news in moments in your day without you even noticing, maybe due to habits that you've already built. Maybe you're waiting for a bus and just naturally, habitually takes out your phone and scroll through social media filled with contents that will bring your mood down. So instead, dedicate intentional hours in a week to consume news mindfully and get yourselves informed about topics of your interest. Don't let those media giants spoon feed you with what they want you to consume whenever they want. But you should deliberately make a choice of what you consume and when. And here is my final thought. What's happening around the world matters, even more so than ever before. and I don't suggest you becoming ignorant about global issues. But I do want to encourage you to focus these energies on things that are directly in the realm of your control. But watching or consuming the news behind your screen without taking any further actions for solution is simply not the best consumption for your mind. Try detoxing away from these outside noises and search for what truly matters for you, whether that is your education or climate change, social justice, or whatever it is. I strongly believe that we all are the ones who should define what is important for us and what's not restricted to what is being held on the main headlines of news channels. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video valuable or enjoyable, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you would not miss a single episode coming up. With that in mind, I just want to say I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you soon again.